Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered! Today it's going to be a match between Zelot and Last. Here on, I think this is Heartbreak Ridge, based on the spawning locations. No, it is not. Forgot the name of this map here. Wait, maybe it is. Oh yeah, it is. Alright, Heartbreak Ridge. I think this is the first Korean game that I've cast on Heartbreak Ridge. Usually, it's the purview of foreigners, but whatever. This is a Patreon cast. Showed up last month on patreon.com/FalconPaladin. If you're watching it in December, then thank you very much. Oh, not December, January. If you're watching it in December, thank you very much for supporting me for at least $1 a month at patreon.com/FalconPaladin. And let's get right on into this here. Right side of the map is the yellow Terran player Last. And on the left side of the map, it is the confusingly named white Zerg player Zelot. Because what? Why? Why is your name Zelot? You play Zerg. Did you used to play Protoss? Is that what this is all about? I don't know. Drone moving out here, and there's nothing else going on from Zelot. What is our plan today? Is that... Okay, that's an Overlord. That's a drone. That's definitely a drone... I was going to say a drone scout, but I think he's just going to go try to take this top left... Okay, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening with this guy, but I'm interested to find out. Where you going, drone? Hit that like button if you know where that drone is going. I don't. I honestly have no idea. Is he going to throw up a hatch here? Oh, is he going to drill through this? What is and then a pool first? It's got to be a pool first after all that. No, it's a hatch first. It is about a 12 hatch here. Okay. So 12 hatch back home. And we're definitely trying to get this back door down. Can you do... I forget. Can you do this with one drone? I thought it took multiple drones to get through this stack. Maybe it just takes a while. Maybe it just takes a while to get through and one drone can do it. It certainly seems like no more drones are coming across. So I am inclined to believe that Zelot knows what he's doing here. Now, okay, so standard gas pool here. So hatch gas pool looks like our play. Maybe it was a pool first into a gas, one of the two. Doesn't really matter at this stage. They were very close regardless. And yeah, it just looks like the drone takes forever to get through. Okay, so that's going to be open. And I don't know that Last is scouting this, but he is walling here. He is. Did he go command center first? He went command center first into barracks. Okay. He is not going to have much versus the Lings that are definitely coming across. This is why you have an SCV, though. The SCV scout is to make sure that you know how many Lings are coming across the map once that pool is done. Does he make 2 Zerglings? Fine. Don't have to worry about it. Does he make 6 or 8? Those are aggressive Lings. Those are probably not defensive. Let's go ahead and maybe get a bunker back home. Wall off right here if you can. Maybe just stay in here for a minute, depending on how aggressive those Lings are going to be. So that back door is open. It's open, and this drone decides to come home not empty-handed, gets a mouthful of minerals, and heads on back. So at this stage, I don't know. Is Last savvy enough to count the drones and say there's a drone missing? Because there is a drone missing. But at this point, he's just trying to see how many Lings are on the way. The answer is definitely at least 4. We've got 2 with 2 more on the way. Oh, there's already 2 there, so 6. 6 Lings are here. They're going to kill the SCV because they need him to not notice there are a lot more Lings coming. Nicely done, actually. Great control, bringing those Lings from the bottom. And the SCV has to get out now. It can't stick around any longer than this. It's going to die anyway. If the drone gets a hit off here... Oh, the drone did not get a hit off here. But the drone coming back with a mouthful of minerals has got to be an indication to Last that something weird is happening. And he's definitely getting a bunker. Going to be a really smart play here. But man, if a lot of Lings show up with metabolic boost, that bunker is going to die real fast. So here come the Zerglings from Zelot. This is looking really bad for the Terran player. A Lair's on the way. What is your follow-up from this? Mutalisks, I would guess. So we do have a bunker with 4 Marines in it, with additional Marine production happening right now, and throwing up a supply depot so the surround can't happen. Oh, Last, you're so good at this game. Speed is done. Those Zerglings are cruising across the map as fast as they can, which is very, very fast. And this is just going to be a big old Ling flood. Ling flood happening here. SCV is ready to body block as necessary. Coming from the other side, too. Okay, so it's going to be a Ling sandwich. Ready, set, go. Here come the Zergling, trying to jump on top of that bunker, trying to get on top of the Marines. The SCV body block is really good. The repair is insanely good, too. Oh, that was disgustingly well hauled from Last. Holy crap, that was so good. All right, so there are Lings free inside your base, which sucks, I admit. But I think Last is okay. He still has his bunker. He still has 3 Marines in there. The Ling count is kind of insane. They're going to go for that backdoor attack again. Oh my, oh, the Academy is not actually researching anything, but it is going to allow for Firebat production. And Firebats are what you need if your opponent is bringing a billion Zerglings at your face. Any hit on these Marines are good hits. Marines down, 3 Zerglings alive, more coming around on the backside. They might just bypass this bunker entirely. Dude, I think he might have done it. If this Firebat dies... All right, Academy in trouble. Lings do get on top of the Firebats. Firebats are done. I think that might be it. The Firebats needed to perform a miracle. The Academy's getting hammered right now, but SCV's here to fight. I'm not sure there are enough of the SCVs, though, to win this battle and save the Academy down to 6-5. He's barely holding on to that Academy, but this is so many Zerglings. Worker count 12 to 19. Last has a lead there, but all right, once the bunker's down, I don't know about this. So many Lings cruising in. Marines down. Firebat Lings coming from all directions. This is so overwhelming for Last. I thought for sure Last held this, but turns out no. Zelot insanely good at this game. Manages to make the Ling rush work. The backdoor helped immensely, and that's your GG for game 1 of our sneaky twofer here today. Incredible. Incredible play there from Zelot. So he ends up with 2 bases. He has a lair. He has a Hydralisk den with Hydras on the way, which I don't think he actually had made any yet. Nope. According to the map, there are no Hydralisks out there. But wow, that was great. I kind of want to try this. I guess it helps if the back door is available, like you're playing on Heartbreak Ridge. If there's not one of these, you probably can't succeed very well at it. But yeah, the Lings coming through here. That initial attack was held beautifully, but then the Lings continue to flood back this way. Last didn't do anything to block this off. I'm not sure that you can even, honestly. Like, is the Pleiadipo built here? Would that block the whole ramp? Because that'd be insane if it could. That would have helped a lot, but nah. Went for Firebats. The Academy survived, which I'm really surprised about, but too many SCVs got killed there at the end of the day. Yes, Last had a lead, but there were Lings free inside his base. This Firebat had some work to do, but it didn't really matter. Natural base was done. I mean, I don't know that Last was dead, but he was definitely behind just because, you know, Hydras were coming, Lings were cruising in. He had no mining from a second base at all. And these SCVs in straight-up fights against Zerglings, who all had pretty healthy health pools, except for this one was almost dead. Yeah, it might have been a little premature, but I think we'll roll with it. All right, so that's game 1 of our sneaky twofer. Let's check out the final score on that. It's not going to be much because it was so short. But units killed is pretty even. Produced is way more for the Zerg player because obviously Zerglings count for 2. Buildings lost. And then resources here. Actually not doing too bad on the gas mine from Zelot. So he had enough for Hydras. Minerals mine definitely more for Last. And total spent was pretty even. So that was a close game. Good one. Really good one. Don't go anywhere. Let's go into game number 2 here. Featuring Last again. And maybe Zelot. We'll see what we can find. Yeah, stick with it. Game 2 of our sneaky twofer between Zelot and Last will also be on Heartbreak Ridge, but let's just switch places. Left side this time is the yellow Terran player Last, and on the right side it is the brown Zerg player Zelot. So again, it kind of feels like these are just a bunch of practice matches. I've seen those comments in the comment section of my videos before. Not sure entirely where I was going with that, but it turned out to be redundant. Redundancies a lot there. Okay, so this is a little bit of a longer game, so maybe sneaky threefer? All right, sneaky threefer. I've done that before, so maybe this isn't a longer game. Maybe I am fooling you, but all right. Chat here. No Korean characters. Oh, hang on. I forgot. Somebody in Discord had a suggestion for me of how to get Korean characters there instead of just boxes, so that chat, or not chat, the comments can translate it for us and see what they're talking about, right? Look, this one showed up. What the heck? Why did that show up? That one too. Wait, is that money? I think that might be a money symbol. Anyway, what are we doing over here? Zelot it's got the Overlord on the way, so it looks like an Overpool play, possibly going to be a Hatch Firster at 12. He still has that on the table. And Melvert, our Last here, under a Smurf name, Melverk, which is honestly one of the better Smurf names, I feel like, is Melverk. Look, more characters are showing up. I don't understand. I don't get it. This is another Command Center first play. Ooh. This is interesting. All right, that is going to be a 12 hatch. Ka-ching! Into an extractor, into a pool, possibly a pool first here. But either way, it's not a quick pool first and should be just fine, honestly, for Last to handle this. We don't have the drone coming across, right, to open up this path into Deathville for the Terran player. SCV, is he scouting or he's trying to see if there are lings on the way? Because he has not scouted at all. And if there was a pool that was started first, it would be just about done and lings would be on the way here by now at about 2 minutes. So he is going definitely for the command center first play, which is greedy and was punished in the last game. We'll see if that's what we get here. The command center first into a barracks play. Again, if this is a series of practices, I wonder if he's just like, I'm going to go command center first against you on this map a bunch of times and see what you can do, Zealot. So please do your best here. And Zelot's like, by all means, I'll do all sorts of crazy builds at you, not tell you what they are, probably. That's a good way to practice, right? Also, another good way to practice is to tell your opponent what build you're using so that they can prepare for it and learn how to handle it when they know that it's coming, because when you scout it and know what it's coming, it's just a good feeling in StarCraft, right? When you scout a strategy, know that it's coming, and prepare perfectly for it. Oh, is there anything better in the world? Probably not. I can think of a couple things, but we'll try to keep this family friendly. Chocolate. Chocolate's real delicious. Anyway, lings are out. Got a pair here and another pair on the way. Again, I don't feel like this is very aggressive at all because these back minerals are still alive and because speed is just now getting started. And a lair got started pretty fast too. So the lair's an indication we're not seeing a ling flood here. Although the last game, that lair, the natural, was a pretty big deal. And it came up fast. Not that he used it until he made a Hydralisk now, obviously, but... yeah, so Last is like, all right, so there's 4 lings out. There could be more. I'm forced to flee with my SCV, so let's get a bunker up just in case. Never really felt bad about making a bunker when there are 6 or more lings out on the map, and I was greedy with my place, so my marine count is not very high. So if there was not a place for these marines to hide out in, bravely hide out in, as they do when they're in bunkers, then they would die. So honestly, like 3 or 4 marines just kind of hanging out here when lings show up, they're in so much trouble. Marines without stim and no upgrades are pretty squishy, as it turns out. Second gas on the way, and we are going for a Spire. So 2 base Mutalisk opening confirmed out of Zealot here. Marine count needs to get pumped. Engineering base should get started at some point. You don't really need it now, because Spires take approximately an eternity to build. So he's dealing with some possible early ling harass, which there is. There's a good number of lings here, but not really enough to win the game at this stage. Gonna be honest with you, I don't see it happening. Third base now on the way from Zealot, loving that very much. And where are we going? Going in here seems like suicide. There are 6 marines, none of which you can get a surround on. Maybe you can slip around through here, but I think SCVs would body block that if they had the opportunity to do so. And they would, because again, Last is a disgustingly good Terran player, and he would body block because that's how you make sure lings don't get inside your main base in these situations. Alright, so Engineering Bay is on the way from Last. You really don't need to start building the turrets until the Mutalisks are in production. Looks like you timed this pretty well to have the Engineering Bay done about the same time the Spire pops, and then start your missile turrets pretty soon after that. He has not scouted, other than with the SCV, but based on the timings of the gas and the fact that third base wasn't very fast, I have to assume he knows it's Mutalisks. They're on the way. Stim coming in. Engineering Bay done, and the turret production has begun. There we go. This is working out very nicely on the timing for Last. I like it. Zerglings are like, hey, if you want to move out, we'll just we'll just walk right into your house. How does that sound to you? We'll kill a couple of your SCVs. We'll kill a couple of your Marines. We'll maybe take down your missile turret. That seems like a pretty good idea. That Marine has stim, but he's also dead. That Marine is dead. That Marine is dead. That turret is down. These lings getting in was huge. Last is like, well, we have lings inside the mains, so we're going to go for a counterattack and maybe try to kill some stuff while SCVs clean it up themselves, and they do. Problem is, you're real susceptible to a Mutalisk attack. The thing is, he puts the pressure on the Zerg player by going the other way and saying, why don't you stay home to defend with your army instead of killing me? I don't have much back home. Mutas are stacking up a little bit, kind of splitting here. What are you looking for down this way? I don't understand why you're splitting like this. Always looking for the army. Surprise! The army for Last is here at the third base. I can't believe 2 drones escaped. That's insane. So 2 drones escaped. Can the mutas, do they have enough to actually save the hatchery? They need to, okay, they gave up. Either try now or give up. That was a very small window to make that decision, and he decided to give up. Then he goes in to start picking stuff off. Why would he do that? Maybe he didn't have all the mutas that he wanted. They weren't stacked up. Queen's Nest on the way from last, or from Zelot, rather. I mean, this group is dead. It's just a question of how many mutas can they kill. And the answer is I don't think any. I didn't hear any mutalisk death sounds there. So that army dies in exchange for a hatchery, which seems like a pretty good deal. I mean, we're 2 base to 2 base in it. You had enough time to throw up some turrets back home so the mutas, when they do make their way across the map as they're working on, are not as effective as they otherwise would be. Good news for the Zerg player is Queen's Nest is done, which means he can go for a hive, which means you can get Defilers out pretty quickly. Defilers, again, how you beat Terran. That turret count, though, ugh. The Marine count with the stim and the medic support, and sure, that might have been an overextend there from that group for last. Yeah, I'd argue that it were, but the turret count is a little bit insane. I mean, there are 6 of them on the screen right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, with another one at the natural, with 4 more here. Yeah, he may. I don't think he's overcommitting to missile turrets. Considering how well these mutas are doing, I would say he's not overcommitting. In fact, as he lost a ton of his Marines on the other side of the map and does not have them for base defense at the moment. Oh, these mineral patches cannot be mined from. They cannot be mined from at all. 3rd base on the way in the top left now for Zelot. Interesting. Is he? I think he's ninja-ing that. I really think he's sneaking it. Not too shabby. Not too shabby here. These mutas are getting some work done. There are still 10 of them. This is insane. So we'll leave this up for a minute while the mutas try to get some kills. We'll watch 1 die. Turret down, though. Pretty important turret. Mutas juke back around. Picking off SCVs. They are picking off workers. There's a bunch of mutas over here, too. This is so many mutalisks and flyer attacks on the way. Mutas lose a few of their number there, and a couple of them are very much in the dark blue. This group, I mean, could help. I think. Not another turret. It certainly is another turret. So the good news is that Zelot has his 3rd base up and running, and he has a hive. These are good things. I don't know what he's doing with the hive, other than maybe trying to get +3 muta attack at some point. Muta group. Oh, that was 11 mutalisks. Those turrets go down, and I kind of feel like all of these mutas could come right in here and take down these barracks. Why is he not doing it? Look at this mutalisk group. Look at it. I guess there's an army moving out, and that is probably setting. Is he just flying right? Wow. He just flies right over this group. He wins, but that was careless. That was some careless mutalisk control. I mean, at some point, Last needs science vessels, so he's making a factory, but he's a long way from science vessel, I can tell you that much. Mutas and Zerglings, they do take down the bunker at the front. That Marine dies. This is pretty good. This is pretty good from Zelot. I gotta say, this Ling Muta stuff, I'm enjoying it immensely. Look at these SCVs having to fight for their lives against these Zerglings inside the natural base. A lot of workers going down. The Mutas are not actually, they're trying to attack without incurring the wrath of the 3 missile turrets down there. Not doing super well. SCVs once again able to save their own lives there, as they are the best fighters of all the workers in StarCraft. Zelot has some workers in the top left right now. The natural base has no defense. The main base has no defense other than the tech structures. But I'm not sure Last has the wherewithal to move out at this stage of the game. You know what I mean? He tried moving out once, got wiped out. I think it was a good trade for him in that he killed a bunch of mutalisks, but his army is gone. So small comfort, I think. There's only 5 remaining here. He just keeps making mutas, you guys. This is the most commitment I've seen to mutalisks, I think, on the channel ever in all my Broodlord casts. I don't have as many of those as I do StarCraft 2, but still. Greater Spire? Ho! Ho! All right. We're going for Guardians here as the follow-up. That's why you have so many mutas. You're turning them into Guardians. This group of mutas is pretty spiffy, I would say, doing some work here. SCVs are trying to repair the missile turrets, but I don't think there are enough of them. Nope, definitely not. Oh, this is so problematic. And then He's saved. These SCVs should all be dead. But Last basically forces a confrontation, forces the Mutas to leave because he's moving out. Oh, I kind of feel like the Mutas could have stuck around and wiped out this mineral line for good. There are definitely Wraiths in production, which are going to be fantastic against the Guardians when they show up. He must have scanned and seen the Greater Spire under construction there. Or what's the official terminology? Mutating over there. Mutaflog, pretty big. Again, they have the +1/+1, which is nice. Which is really nice. But 2-basing Terran versus a 3-basing Zerg is never ideal. Alright, Mutaflog big with a 1/1. It's really nice. The Marines do have 1/1 themselves, but it's just not enough against this Mutalisk onslaught. 8 Mutas remain. A ton of medics die. The Wraith count is getting kind of insane, though. 3 of them here. Another 2 on the way. And here come those Guardians. Boy, we have seen Guardians on the channel fairly frequently in the last 6 weeks or so, haven't we? I'm surprised. I'm surprised at all the Guardian play we've seen. I love these packs. I got a lot of these off of TeamLiquid.net. Really appreciate the people that took the time to put them together and saved me a ton of time. And anyway, Mutas are, again, 10 of them. And a Devourer on the way. Oh my gosh, a Devourer and a Guardian. What is happening? What is happening right now? Holy cannoli. Devourer's like, I'll get you, factory. Devourer DPS is horrible, but pretty good at, yo. The Wraith Squad is here. The Wraith Squad is here to murder your Guardians. Get a splash on it. Got a splash on it. But the control is stupid good right now. The Mutas are fighting. The Guardians are gone. I don't think this was a good engagement, really, for Zelot at all. But I guess he killed a ton of Marines, got some splash in on these Wraiths, which means they take additional damage. They have 5 acid spores on them. That one has 4, I suppose. So that means every attack is increased against those guys pretty significantly. Mutas do 3 attacks. Dude, I don't know if those Wraiths want to be here. They don't. The Wraiths do not want to be here when they have the purple goop on them. They have no interest at all. Oh, boy. All right, well, what a great game this is. Wraiths, Guardians, Devourers, Mutalisks, Lings. Beautiful. This is a beautiful game. The problem for Lass is he's not able to get a 3rd. And, I mean, Zelot hasn't exactly been killing it economically. He's on 31 drones, and he has really no interest in taking a 4th, it seems like. But if you can avoid taking a splash from those Devourers, it'd be real nice, Wraith guys. It would. Guardian's going after the Comsat station, which I guess that's low-hanging fruit. I'm not sure why it concerns him at all. Yeah, he's actually going after missile turrets instead. The Comsat can do whatever it wants at this point of the game. Not much you can scout. Right? Because the Zerg player is not doing anything too tricky. This is just mass Wraith, man. It is Wraith Marine against this weirdness that we're seeing. Alright, good job with the Devourers getting that purple jelly on. The Muta hits are so good against these Wraiths. So good against these Wraiths, but is it good enough? I'm not convinced that it is. Trying to take down these cocoons before they finish. The control is so stupid right now from both these players. APM's well over 300, close to 400 for each. The Wraiths are gone, but the Marines can handle the Guardians if they get it close enough, and they did. It is 70 to 67 supply. This might just get an epic tag. I know, I feel like I'm overusing the epic tag lately, but holy crap! These games! Look at them. Last might actually just be able to push across and win here. He has a better economy. This is a problem with all these Marines coming out, dying instantly. It's real bad. 1/1 Mutalisk. Pretty good unit, as it turns out. Wraith gets some free hits off. The Mutas have no interest in defending themselves there. And some Zungans are coming up as though it is the first, 6 minutes of the game, and this is a standard timing push with Stim. There's actually 1/1 Marines, which, I mean, they could have better upgrades, but a lot of resources have gone into Wraiths here today. Oh, he scanned that top left, so All right, so there are 2 Sunkens coming up here. With Muta support and a bunch of Sunkens, I think Zealot can hold this top left base. I'm looking at it and trying to decide if that is possible. And I think it is, right? He's waiting for the Terran player to commit into these Sunkens, and then he'll come in with the Mutalisks and attack him while that's happening. Zergling's trying to get into the natural, not happening. There's 70, 80, 261 supply in favor of Last right now is so good. It is so good right now. Oh my gosh, Overlord's dying, not supply blocking. Actually, it does supply block Zealot a tiny bit. 100% supply blocked, as literally supply blocked as you can be. What is he building? Why are you making Guardians on this side of the map? They're so slow. Guardians are siege units. You want to make your Guardians over on the other side. Defensive Guardian, not very good as it turns out. Dude, if these turrets go down, this natural base is forfeit. Get in there. You could take down those turrets. You have upgrades. Yeah, just take them down. Take them down. Arr, all right, now Last is in trouble. But he does have a humongous, scary army cruising across. Defensive Guardians, high grounding Guardians, right? Guardians here, so the Marines can't get under you, don't have the vision to see you. Oh, this is insane. The natural base is under attack by these +1/+1 Mutalisks. The splash damage on the Marines is pretty good. The Muta's taking some a little bit too many shots there. And yeah, Last can't come in here. Last can't. Oh, the Guardians overextending. The Wraiths are coming in. It's our job to protect these Marines and get rid of these Guardians. Guardian down. Guardian down. The Mutalisk count isn't enough to save the Guardians. I don't know. That one's overextended too. No! Zealot! Zealot had this thing, and he just lost all of his Guardians. This is why you don't see Guardians in StarCraft very much. Is because, yes, it's fantastic that they're basically long-range siege tanks that don't do splash damage. But, and they are in the air, too, which is just, again, hard to deal with. But, man, Wraiths do so well against them. Oh, they're going to come on in. They're going to come into this base and kill these drones. I mean, Scourge, fine. Maybe get a hit. Okay, they killed 2 of them, which is nice. Turning this into a Spore would be insanely good. You have an... oh, hang on. He probably doesn't have an Evolution Chamber. He doesn't have an Evolution Chamber at all. Last managed to save his natural, which is kind of a huge deal. And he's got Irradiate done, which means he has Science Vessels. He does. The Mutas are in trouble, dude. Has Last pulled this out, ladies and gentlemen. He's up 88 to 54. He's never taken a third base in a 20-minute ZVT against Zealot, who beat him in the last game. I mean, Zealot is insanely good, but I'm not sure that Zealot committed enough to the economy in this game to really make it worth it. That's an Evolution Chamber, and one day that'll be a Spore. Promise. It will. Mutaflock 6. It's not a big Mutaflock anymore. We're used to seeing Mutaflocks of 8 and 10 and 11. Oh, the Mutas are trying to do what they can to make sure this Marine count is not that heavy. And that's the thing about Terran, man. Marines are good late into the game. Zerglings are pretty good too, and Zealots are pretty good too, but man, Marines just have so much utility. Right? They have so much utility in the late game. Being able to hit air and ground, they make Mutalisks fear. They put fear into the heart of Guardians too, as we saw just a minute ago. But it's 94 to 67 supply. And again, Last is landing a third base at 20 minutes and 15 seconds. I'm not sure he needs it, though. Like, I'm looking at this and saying if he just moves across, this is a last hurrah from Zealot. I don't know if he has enough Guardians for all these guys. Look at these Marines. Look at them. There are 100. It feels like there's 100. There's not, obviously, but whatever. Whatever you're radiating. Oh, Guardian's trying to sneak up this way. Oh, that's interesting. The radiate is insane. This is chaos right here. I'm going to argue immediately this is pure chaos. But all the Guardians are dead, and that's your GG. That's it, man. 82 to 47 supply. Guardians all down. These guys, I think, irradiated themselves to death as the Marines handled them. I don't know. We got some purple grape jelly on the Science Vessels, but that is not enough to win this game for sure. Last takes a third. Zealots on 3 bases and 26 drones, where Last is on 25 drones. And sure, most of that has come down to the Mutalisk harass, right? Mutas have killed a ton of SCVs in this game, but Last has never stopped making them. He's able to fully saturate his third as a result. Sure, 25 SCVs is a bad place to be, but if your opponent's at 27, you're not too shabby. We have further upgrades. They keep waiting. There we go. +2 attack is on the way for the Marines, but they don't care. They're not waiting. Let's go. Irradiate on those Mutalisks. Split. No, the split is not real. The split is not real. Sunkens are so bad against upgraded anything, and that's your good game last. Ends up taking the win there in 21 minutes and 43 seconds. Whoa. I don't even know. Epic. It just is. I don't know what to tell you about this. It's epic. Good gravy, what a game. Guardians, Devourers, Wraiths. When do we see those units? And all three of them in one match. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this game. Give me some more visibility on the algorithm that YouTube uses. Boosh. Yeah, Zelot just never really had a time where he droned his face off, right? He never really had a time where he got up to 50, 60 drones. He didn't feel like it. The Mutalisks were what he was spending his money on. The tech into Guardians was what he was spending his money on. And I don't know. I don't know if I can blame him for that. I think he did really well. But again, the Guardians didn't really pay for themselves. And I think that was the big deal here. The Guardians would show up. The race would wipe them out. And sure, a lot of other stuff would die, but just not enough to make it worth it. Not enough, man. It's a ton of gas for one Guardian. You start with a Mutalisk. That costs 100 gas. And then into Guardians, I think another 150, if I remember right. I don't make them a lot because they're not that good, remember? Ton of gas for each one and just did not pay for themselves at all. So great job, man. Unorthodox strategy from Zelot, but Last gets the win in game 2 of our Sneaky 2 for 140 to 130 on that one. Last has the lead in total points. Produced and killed is pretty even. Lost there too. But at the end of the day, we're looking at way more gas mined from Zelot because he had that 3 extractor thing going for a while. More spent, but just the cost efficientness of the Terran army is what got the win here today. Yeah, I mean, look at this. This is really close. It's just he produced more units than the Zerg player and lost a little bit more, but the math actually adds up to where he has a bunch left over. A ton of SCVs died too, right? That's not army. That is everything. Ton of SCVs died. But at the end, it didn't matter because, you know, Zelot didn't have many drones left either. All right, cool. Well, that is going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching. And you take care of yourself.